All right. Oh my God. Okay. I think I just screamed in your guys' ear. All right. So lots of technical. Jesus. Right. What happened? What happened? What's happening? All right. Am I blowing up your eardrums? Hopefully not. Looks like we're good. Let me check. Let me check live stream. Here we go. Okay. We shouldn't be blowing out any eardrums. Sorry if I did, but sound should be good now. Technical difficulties, guys. Technical difficulties. Try to get the stream started on time. Did not happen because just everything was messing up. But hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hi, how are you? We're doing pretty good. Let's see. Curiosity, what's up, man? Daily D, what's up, buddy? Andrew, do, how you doing, buddy? Korean, what's going on, man? John, what's up? Crippler, what's up? Crazy Kangaroo, Jacob, how you doing? Mark, what's going on, man? Looking good. We're looking good. Um, at the end of the stream, I do want to share something a little bit that you could see it as an extreme negative, but at the same time, it can be an extreme positive depending on how you use this time wisely. But until then, we'll talk about what's going on now, what's my targets, blah blah blah. Blah, blah. Happy to see you guys. Today's been quite a good day. Didn't have too many sessions, had about three. Went on my walk. Fishy went on the walk with me. We had Chick-fil-A for lunch, and just been kind of chilling out for the rest of the time until the live stream. So happy to see you, and more excited to show you. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my Bybit chart that's got all my stuff on it. Right? Not Bybit, just BTC USD. As well as that, I do want to kind of play music to myself through my speakers. That way, I don't feel like I'm sitting here in silence talking to a camera. I'm talking to you guys, but at the same time, there's a part of me that's like, you know, what if? I don't know if that made any sense. We're just gonna breeze past that. Okay. So on the smaller time frames, go ahead and go down to the 2 hour here. Let me turn the music down. We've kind of been working on this double top slash head and shoulders for the past week, 2 weeks that we've been in this range. What's important to note is that we have officially broken the shoulder line of it, haven't officially broken the head. All right, so once we break the head, it's pretty much a for sure thing coming down to about 77 to about 78. Anywhere in this region is kind of what I'm looking for. Now, my personal take profit is at 7,777 just to play it safe. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to explain what all the different possibilities are, but more than likely, we're going to see a retest to the upside in this region because we see a breakout on price action. It wants to come back up, test previous support, confirm resistance. So more than likely, the move that I'm looking to do is go down here, take profit, come back up, confirm resistance off of this. Now, I do want to see a double top. That's really what I'm looking for, but I might just take the trade instantly, depending on how things work themselves out. I'm going to try to stay patient on it. But after that, more than likely, a move down to $6,800 is likely. And, as I discuss further, my personal opinion on it, we could actually see much lower. All right. I don't want to spread any FUD. I just want to be realistic with what could happen and how you can take advantage of it. Make sure that you come out on top. And at the end of the day, in the next year, 2 years, you're sitting pretty. That's what the main focus is here. So whenever I'm talking about a major drop in price action, you guys shouldn't see that as a bad thing. I know people want to see Bitcoin break out to the upside, but I truly don't think that is going to happen for quite a while. All right. So, give you an update on the $100 account. We're not sitting at thousands of dollars just yet. So we went all the way up to $7,000 from $100 in 1 week. There was, obviously my education plus my recklessness allowed me to do that. Now we're going to be a little bit more on the safe side of things. Now, that being said, we're not scared. We're safe. All right. That way, as we grow it, we're not accelerating risk, which obviously everybody would love to do that and have a constant win percentage, but it's not possible. You have to understand that there's always going to be mistakes. There's always going to be getting stopped out. If you make sure that when you lose small, you win big, then you're a good trader at the end of the day. So my average position is 9,458. My first short position was all the way up at 9,890. So we got the last wick on the way out. All right, so we got this wick right here, 8,890. So we got literally so lucky on that. It's not even funny. So as soon as we broke past the shoulder line, I did get a little bit of a crappy entry, not gonna lie. It was 90.70. I should have waited for the retracement, but I thought it was gonna continue dumping down. But fortunately, we did get a double top off of the shoulder line, which is definitely a good thing for the move down to 85.50. Now, I am looking to take profit. Hey, 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 hey. You did not. No, no, no. You do not scratch the couch. That's not a thing we do. God, Fishy is sometimes such a good boy, so cute. Sometimes he's not so good boy. All right. But he's always cute. So I do have 50% of my profit being taken at 84.50. Now, that's me personally. I'm advising the people in my group and I'm advising you guys. Well, I'm not advising you, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying it is more likely that we see 85.50 reversal rather than 84.50. But I'm just trying to make sure that I get the most amount of profit. So I'm kind of taking into account the wicks down to around 8,173 and just saying, all right, I'm not going to go for the exact low, but I'm going to try to find a happy medium. So the reasons why I say that I'm going to take 50% of my profit at that point is because around that point, I do expect a retest to the upside. Now, we might have already seen that and then already seen the rejection. So that could mean that we just make a move lower instantly. All right. So, what I've been teaching people the last couple of days is to keep things simple, keep them easy on yourself. Make sure you're paying attention to what matters. Okay. Because in these patterns, there's only a couple supports and resistances that truly matter. Other than that, everything else is just intermediary points between those. So, if we're looking at regular price action here, this is on a 2-hour chart. We just go ahead and draw out what those major supports and resistances are. We can start seeing things a lot clearly. So, as well as that, we have Hakanishi candles with wicks turned off. That helps me see things a little bit easier as well. So we have a resistance here at about 9,302. The average support is around 85.50, which is why I say that's probably where you want to take profit. Okay. And then up here, the average top is around the $9,900 mark, just rounded out. So if we go ahead and trace the pattern coming into this, we have boom, 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 and then boom. So what I'm hoping here is that we go ahead and try to come back up and confirm a right shoulder. Now, we're doing something similar right now, but I don't think that's going to happen until we actually see that bottom at 85. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, what if we don't see it come back up? Okay. All right. That's why I leave 50% of my position in it. So 50% of my account was put into the trade up here. 50% of my account was put into the breakout trade down here. All right, so I'm taking the 50% that was in the breakout trade because that is the target for the breakout trade. And then obviously a break past this, obviously we want a candle body close plus a rejection, double top. That's what we're really looking for nowadays. And then we can finally see that move down to 7,700. Otherwise, as long as we are sitting in this region, a retest down here to a retest up here is completely viable. All right. Now, on the smaller time frames, we're working on confirming resistance below the previous high over here before we actually had that retest to the upside. So more than likely, we're already seeing some slowdown on price action. We're already getting some bearish TD sequential on the Hakanishi candles. We might see that drop down to 85.50 pretty soon. Not promising by the end of the night, just saying, probably likely to happen. Now, I want to show you guys, I think I showed you guys on last live stream, but I'm not sure, kind of how I'm using the MACD now. So like I showed you guys over the past couple of weeks as we've been pumping, how bearish divergences are used to trick traders into short positions, as well as that the momentum from the bearish divergence is actually used to pump Bitcoin up, which a lot of people don't put two and two together. But simply all it comes down to is E equals MC squared, law, energy of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be redistributed. So if you have a bearish divergence that plays into bullish convergence, the bearish divergence does not simply disappear. That momentum does not just magically, go away into thin air. It's used to pump Bitcoin. So I think at this point in time, we're going to start seeing a lot of bullish divergences that are tricking people into long positions and then ending in bearish convergence. Now, I'm not saying that there's not potential really good long scalps that could be in play from time to time. I'm just saying that overall, the trend is going to be downwards. Now, if you don't really agree with me on that, the reasons why I say that is if we go out to a 12-hour here, all right, and let me go ahead and delete all this, and we focus on the macro support and resistance right here, all right, if we look at this, all right, now you might be saying, well, we didn't get a double top, Austin. Why are you saying that we're going to go all the way back down to 6,800? All right, obviously, if you look at this on a 12-hour chart, that looks pretty clear to me. Double top, break the head, go ahead, drop down. So that's my first target macro-wise. Now, the reasons why I'm saying that more than likely we are going to see a bounce there, but I don't think it's going to be the bounce that people want, because I think people are starting to catch on to this setup right here. But the whales know that. Obviously, they want to trick you. So I do have a session at 7:30. So at 7:25, someone remind me. I just try to look at the clock from time to time. But more than likely, because of that, there is going to be a small retest to the upside. I can't exactly tell you where. I would assume somewhere at the 50% retracement. So maybe back up to around 8 grand. That will allow people to get into long positions later. All that good stuff, trap them in longs, and then probably force price action down. Now, when I say double bottom, I don't necessarily mean just off of price action. Like I was saying, we're looking for either a lower low on price action with a higher low on the RSI, or vice versa, or an exaggerated bullish divergence off of the RSI. So over here, all right, let's go ahead and pull out our pretty looking RSI. So this is our pretty looking RSI, Christmas colors. So you can see that this right here is correlated to this top. This right here is correlated to obviously this top. So we have a standard bearish divergence / double top because we got a rejection off of the same zone technically, because that's why I kind of look at it as. So we got a double top off of the RSI. Now you might say, well, Austin, we're almost back down to where we're supposed to be to see a bullish reversal. That's what they want you to think, right? They want you to get into longs so they can liquidate you. And there's always that tipping point where, you're in a trade and you're down by so much already. And you're like, what's even the point in cutting my losses if the loss is this big? And then you just let it continue and you lose even more. And then you're like, why didn't I cut my loss? So that's essentially what they're trying to do to you. So what I'm saying here is that we've built up this diagonal resistance. Now you might be saying, well, Austin, you told me not to use diagonals. Don't use diagonals on small time frames. That's what I was trying to say. Now, even on the daily, I think diagonals can be used to trick people. What I'm talking about is like the 3-day and the weekly. That's when I think diagonals are actually helpful, and on indicators. Now, I think that we're going to get a bullish divergence here, and that bullish divergence is going to end in bearish convergence with the RSI and price action, obviously. So that's what I think is going to happen as we push up here and have these retests. It's just going to be pushing price action down. People are going to want to hop into longs because I think this is kind of like the point where people are starting to feel like, if we don't break out soon, I'm just going to stop trading. What's even the point? I'm not winning, but that's what you got to start doing. Start winning, because when I explain what I think might happen over the next 500 days, you're going to say, well, I'm just going to get out of Bitcoin for a while. I don't want you to do that. I want you to look at it objectively. Trade, all right? Make sure that you make money on the way down. That way you can make money on the way up. If Mrs. G is in the chat, I would love to have some confirmation on this idea. All right. So I know I haven't been looking at the chat all that much. I just want to make sure I get the information out there. Let's see. Are we on our way out to fill CME gap? Not sure. I don't pay attention to CMEs. I pay attention to my stuff. All right. Now, I know that more than often than not, CME gaps are filled exactly and then have a reversal sometimes. But I really don't think it's a big issue. Drive through crypto. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Win moon, not for 500 days. All right. Nate, how you doing, buddy? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Krypton, what's up, man? How you doing? Hoopsicle, what's going on, man? Obsidian, what's up? Let's see. Crippler, good point, Kite. Awesome, man. Glad you're on board. So that's what I'm thinking macro wise over the long term, maybe a month, maybe a couple weeks, maybe 2 months. All right. The reasons why I think this was a little bit sharper of a dip was because of Corona added in. I think it was going to happen either way, but I think because of Corona, it happened extra fast. All right. That's all. But I think it was going to happen either way. Where's BTC going? I don't know, man. Really don't talk about that here. That's a joke. That's a joke. So the way that I've been using the MACD is to time breakouts, not so much for bullish and bearish divergences. I usually just use the RSI for that. The MACD, I usually just use it to kind of find out when that end of capitulation would be. And we just had a reset on capitulation. So we're not going to see a breakout for more than likely the next 300 to 500 days. That's what I'm kind of seeing here. Now, if we go to the daily chart, do the same exact thing, make it a little bit more accurate depending on the macros. We can go ahead, bring that out, add in this little run right here. Now, this could be used to find out when major reversal to the upside are going to happen. So this diagonal support here. So that being said, this is where I kind of get that timeline of about 500 days. And I'm going to show you something that's pretty damn cool on how it lines up. So obviously we have that diagonal resistance as well on the RSI. Now, obviously, the more aggressive the slope on your diagonal, the more likely it is to break. So we probably will see it break at some point. But what's important to note here is that on a 12-hour RSI, we had a chance to actually confirm a double bottom head and shoulders and then probably see a good retest to the upside right here. Okay. So that was our opportunity. All right. That would have built a lot of bullish momentum that really could have made a difference and actually broke us out to the upside. What happened was we fell through that support and we're coming back up to retest it as resistance. Not a good sign for longs. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you what to do, just saying what my opinion is and letting price action do what it do. All right. So these green zones on the RSI, those are major reversal regions. Now, what I typically tell people, this was an exception to the rule here, is you really don't want to ever enter a long or a short off of the first bounce out of the extreme reversal region. What you're waiting for is a bearishly or bullishly diverging RSI, because if you would have done that here, you would have shorted all the way back here at about 8,911, probably would have been stopped out multiple times. But if you just waited for that second tap, traded the bearish divergence, you could have entered up here and then just held on to it for as long as humanly possible. So that's the main game. Now, I want to go ahead and switch over to my Bitstamp chart and kind of show you guys why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm not just pulling shit out of my ass. All right. There's a reasons why. Now, actually, before I show you this, ADD brain, I am so sorry. Let me go ahead and show you an example of why I even have this as a concept in the first place. All right. So let's go ahead and turn off the macros here just to get a more clear picture. 125x scared. We're not scared, bro. It's awesome, man. I'm glad you're confident. So let's go down to the 6 hour. All right. So this is a trick that a lot of whales like to use, which is basically create a pattern, create a breakout, create a target, but take as much time as humanly possible to reach its target so that you forget about it. Now, I might sound like I'm, smart, but I fell to the same trick. All right. So you live and you learn. But from here on out, we know that that is always a possibility until invalidated. All right. So what I'm talking about here is back here on this stretch and then put into a descending triangle, we actually created a target of $5,612. Now, depending on where you draw it from and what time frame, that actually extends itself all the way down to I think like $4,000, which obviously, actually we need to start it from up here. All right, so boom, take that down to the edge. So target actually came out to about $5,083. Where do you see the reversal at? $5,083. Now I know I dropped all the way down to 3,700, but we don't look at wicks here, right? Those don't matter to me. All right. Despite what people might think, I think it makes you a better trader if you don't trade with wicks. All right. A lot of people are like, well, how do you know what the maximum and everything is? All right. If you need higher accuracy, don't use wicks. Just use a smaller time frame. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So it took 170 days from this breakout to reach its target. All right. So it took an ungodly amount of time to get there, but it got there. So the reasons why I'm saying that we might see a spectacular drop on Bitcoin is because I want you to go look at what we previously did back here. Let's go to the 12-hour. All right. So I'd say, well, we broke out and we reached our target. We can go to the moon now. Chill. I'll explain why. In a pattern, there is multiple supports, not supports and resistance, obviously there is, but there is multiple targets. Anytime you go from a swing high, swing low, that from the bottom to top of the pattern, that is actually a new take profit point. So I'm not going to be focusing on the gigantic version of this. I'm going to just be showing where we have extreme consistency, which starts right about here. And obviously the consistency around the horizontal. So the first target would be here. Okay. Second target would be here. And third target would be here. So we're just going to do 3 simple targets. Now, see if the wick, see, and you might be saying, well, it didn't go from top to bottom there. It did. Turn on the wicks real quick. So more than often than not, if you see that type of setup, it's going to reach there at some point. So this, all right, we might have to go to the 3-day for this. Let's actually go to a weekly chart. That's actually going to be better for what we're trying to look at here. Okay. So moving back to this. Oh man, maybe not. All right. So hopefully we don't hit that target. Now, that's just one of the targets. All right. Now there's 3 of them here. We don't have to hit all of them. So the second target is here at about $2,000. The third target, we hit it already. So we hit the third target, retrace, retest. Now we saw a rejection because we wanted to get back above $17,000 in order to invalidate the rest of these targets. Until that happens, these targets are still there. You know, maybe it doesn't happen now, but maybe 500 days from now, you come back to me and say, dude, last year, 2 years ago, I didn't think this was even a possibility, but here we are. All right, because that's how it always works. They want to make sure that you don't even think it's even a likelihood in your head. But like I'm showing you on that particular move, it took half a year to get there, but it got there. All right, nothing changed. All right, so here I'm looking for the second target. I'm not really looking for the third target, even though that is a possibility. I'm not really looking for it. Now, that lines up with a couple different supports and resistances. It lines up with this zone right here. This target lined up with this zone right here. So let's go ahead and draw that out with rectangles. Boom. Boom. Now, this is the type of time frame where using diagonals is extremely effective. Now, obviously, the higher the time frame, the higher the wicks. So just be aware of that. So obviously, coming off of this, we created this diagonal resistance. Right here, we're creating a diagonal support. So when we get down to the $2,000 region, if we move at like kind of a direct path down, you guys want to take a guess on how many days it's going to take to get down there? So look here. We go ahead and take the current day we're on. It's going to take around 500 days to get down to that low. Now, is there a potential to see a double bottom on it rather than it get all the way down to that region and then see a reversal? Yes, that would be your hope. But like I said, you can get a double bottom on RSI, but a significantly lower low on price action, especially working with these macro timeframes. So could we see a potential double bottom here? Absolutely. That is a potential. That's kind of what we're working on currently. That's the next major option in the next couple of months, year, whatever it might be. So let's see. You asked why do I think it's going to drop to 7,500 and why I think it doesn't break 10K. Okay. So essentially, all right, just go ahead. Keep it simple on yourself, man. You've been trading, you know your patterns. All right, let's look at the major reversal points on Bitcoin over the last year and a half, 2 years. All right, so what we're looking for here is any place where major upside or major downside price action had a reversal. So if we go ahead and just trace it out, we got boom, 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 boom. Now, we go ahead, add some horizontals around that. Boom, 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 boom. Come on. It's as clear as day, man. We got a double top here off the RSI. So, what does that put our target to in price action? 6,800. Now, could it drop a little bit lower, a little bit higher, and then see a reversal or retest to the upside? Absolutely. But like I said, the whales are here to trick you. They're not here to help you. What they want to do is find out what the majority of people are looking at, which is more often going to be the easiest pattern to find, and then, trap them in long positions. And then, maybe they have a small retest to the upside, but then boom. All right. Now, when I put that line there, I'm not, I'm not expecting exactly $5,000 to be the reversal. Like I said, we're looking for either a higher high, lower high on price action. I mean, no. A lower low on price action, higher high on the RSI, higher low. What am I talking about? On the RSI. And that would be a good sign. That would be okay. We're going to probably be looking for, maybe a retest. Maybe we'll try to break out this time. Now, if we see a lower low, but a higher low on the RSI, I'm just going to say that it's going to be another retest of the diagonal and then probably drop. That's probably what I'll be looking for. Now, on the smaller time frames, it's as clear as day as well. Nothing's really changed. So if we go down to a 4 hour, like I said, keep it simple and easy on yourself. There's nothing to complicate this. Hey, look at your main levels. All right, these are the main levels. Boom, boom, boom. And then the next major one would be around this region. All right, so trace price action. All right, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Now, I know I'm moving at the speed of light and I'm not really looking at chat. Like I said, I got a session coming up here in a little bit. I don't want to rush things, but I also don't want to, mistreat him. I'm sure he's in the chat. I'm sure he's fine with it, but I still don't want to do it. So go here. Boom, 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 boom. So we have a double top already off of the macros. We have a double top off of the mediums. So really, I mean, it's almost a pure certainty. Now, there's never ever a guarantee, but as long as we are holding below 10K, my mind doesn't change because even if we come back up here, that's only going to make more momentum to the downside and chop even more longs. So that's kind of why I'm saying this. I know everybody and their grandmother wants to see Bitcoin break out, but the longer it takes to break out, the more money goes into the pockets of the whales. The more people that really don't have the tenacity to be in this market are going to be thrown to the wayside. During that time, millions of people are going to lose millions of dollars. So there's no downsides for it taking longer, but only upsides. If we see a 2K BTC and you use this time rather than sulking about the price and trade it correctly and make the money now, it's going to be a breeze when Bitcoin blasts off. Because yes, can you trade during price discovery? Absolutely. But is it what you really want to do? Not really. Because like I said, you can't really ever short, all right, unless it's you're in a specific range, and you really don't want to ever long unless it's a retest of previous support. So price discovery, you don't do a whole lot of trading compared to right now when you're ranging, but this is the time to make the money, bring it all the way back down to $2,000 because $2,000 is still a hell of a lot more than what we started at. Okay. In the 20K bull run. So that's fine by me. Like your approach, what you do with the going chart. Awesome, man. Thank you very much. So, like I said, I'm removing diagonals from my smaller time frame trading for higher accuracy. better risk to rewards, and just making sure that I keep things simple and easy and less anxiety ridden trades. So that's kind of my perspective at the current moment. I know a lot of people know me from Gone fans and all this stuff. Um, and I truly do think that those are an incredible method to trade with. But my whole goal here is making trading as simple as possible, making it as cheap as possible. Okay, so that involves using less intelligent strategies, which in the wrong hands can just lead to even further loss. At the same time, you know, even though this is probably one of the most simple ways to trade, it's one of the most highly profitable and stress-free ways to trade. That's what you're going for here, because trading should never keep you awake at night. It should never cause you to get cold sweats. And I'm talking from experience here. I mean, the amount of times that my hands started shaking immediately after hitting that purchase or that trade button. Oh man. So that's really what I'm looking for. Macro, medium, and micro. All right. So like I said, we got a double top here. So boom, 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 boom. Now we can come back up. We can confirm a right shoulder and then come back down. But I'm looking for 8550 to 8100 before that bounce back up to retest. Now, like I said, if we do happen to break past that, more than likely I'll just enter into a breakout trade. It's still a good trade. A lot of people are like, well, you lost your good position. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yes. And I mean, it wasn't even a good position to be with. The one up at the top, 90, 98, 90, that was amazing. 90, 70, not so much. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for over the next week and a half. Let me give you the short-term time frame breakout. So you can see what is the MACD doing, okay, as well as the RSI. So the RSI on the 2-hour just confirmed a bullish divergence, but more than likely we are going to see it end in bearish convergence. So the momentum that was going to be used to the upside is going to be used to the downside. They try to trap you in longs and then liquidate you. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. I'm just trying to help you. Not a financial advisor, just a 20-year-old kid on the internet. All right, just give my 2 cents. So on the 2-hour here, trading those diagonals, we can see that capitulation should come to an end around June 3rd or sometime before. Also, as well, sometimes it does leak a little bit past it, but then have the major move shortly after. So sometime in the next about 8 days, we should see a major breakout on Bitcoin. Now, if you're a moon boy, there's always a way to find out. You can convince yourself of anything. What matters is looking at the possibilities and probabilities and then finding out which one is the best choice. And taking into account the double top on the RSI on the 12-hour, as well as just the general concept pattern that we got going, shorts are the way to be. Sorry to say it. Right? I know that a lot of people, like, after we had that huge coronavirus drop, and then now we're all the way back up to where we were, they're like, Bitcoin's stronger than ever. Yeah, okay. Yes, Bitcoin. I love it. It's amazing. It's going to be the best thing that happened to us since sliced bread. But come on, man. It's in its infancy stage. So nothing really is going to change. These people are going to take advantage of it while they got it. So, if you're a moon boy, you might be saying, well, here, Austin, boom, we got shoulder here. Boom, we got a head here. All we got to do is put a shoulder here, and then we blast off to the upside. Our target's going to be, $12,000. Yes, I have that in the back of my mind. That's why I'm also taking, 50% of my profits at 85.50 to 84.50. So that's why, because that is a possibility. But is it a probability? I don't think so. Not as high as the rest of them. Now, if I see price action break back above the shoulder line, yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll exit that short position. Now I'm going to reopen in that region. But I'm still going to leave this position up here. And then what I'll be looking for is them taking advantage of a triple top, because what better way to trap people into longs than give them hope of a breakout and then trap them? So that's what I'm looking for. Bullish divergence on MACD. What would your target be on a fake out bounce? Fake out bounce. Like I said, we take it level by level. All right. Don't make it any more complicated than it has to be. All right. Even if you're using your indicators, use your price action effectively. All right. There's only 3 levels here. There's only 3 levels. So let's say we get a bullish divergence on the MACD down in this region. Yes. Do I think a retest of 9,300 is possible? Yeah, I do. But we would most likely see a rejection from there. And that's really what we're looking for. Now, could this create a bullish head and shoulders for a retest all the way up down, all the way up to 89.31 or somewhere around that 10K region? Absolutely. All right. So on the smaller time frames here, we kind of look at this a little bit differently. Like I said, you can always find a reason to be in a trade or get out of a trade. Understanding and getting rid of emotions is the thing that's going to help you really be successful here. All right. If you just convince yourself of a good trade every single time, instead of really looking at it from different perspectives and the possibilities and probabilities, like I said, you can find a way to be in any trade at any time. You can say there's a bullish divergence on the 1 minute. I'm in a long, or there's a bullish divergence on the 12 hour. I'm in a long. I'm like, that 12-hour bullish divergence is nowhere close to closing, and the 1 minute has no effect on what's going to happen over the next couple of days. So it does. It does. I'm a liar on that one. But here, what if we come back above this region? We got a head, shoulders, head. Then yeah, that would become a target. But I have to see it before I believe it. Until that point, we have a lot of downwards force. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Korean. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, buddy. So, if you guys want a link to my chart, I will link it in the chat. That way you guys can, see if it matches up with your support and resistance, what your ideologies are. Like I said, I'm not here to convince you to do anything. I'm just here to share my perspective, because, that's the job here, all right? I just want to put my ideas out there. I want to have a civil, open discussion about what your ideologies are, why you think is something is going to happen. So that's all I hope for, is that you really sit down and put some critical thought into your charts, into your ideologies of what could happen. And obviously, if I have a different opinion, I'll say, well, because this is this and that, that's why I'm holding the opposite position. And at the end of the day, we're just two traders. As long as the risk management is good, none of us should really lose. And that's the main thing. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here. We haven't really seen uh, a bounce out of the extreme reversal region just yet. So there's no cause for any real major upset here. So that's kind of my perspective on the medium, short, and macro time frames. Like I said, that's not going to, happen for another 500 days. Obviously, we're going to be working towards it over the next couple 500 days, couple 500 days. But is what it is. So 4-minute kites becomes pumpkin. I'm a pumpkin now. Yeah, so this monitor has super crazy colors, like in a good way. But it does feel a little bit oversaturated. So like when I do the color correction on the webcam, sometimes on your screens I might look like a damn pumpkin. Need to be in your session, bro. I would love to see you, man. Like I said, if you guys have been in the group since the beginning, I know a lot of you have maybe, seen me teach things in a different way. So if you like, obviously, as more and more people come into the group, I do have to be a little bit less instead of having a session every single day, it might be once every 2 weeks, maybe once every week. But that way everybody gets a fair chance. But if you guys were in the group early on, please come back. Let me know that, I'm doing things completely differently than I did, because traders change. They, develop new concepts, new ways of trading. Obviously, this is a new way of trading, but it's a healthy way of trading. Okay. And combine that with the nuances of how whales trick people into shorts or longs. That's when you can really start making money. Exactly. So until we fall below the head here, technically you can always say, well, it's not a confirmed double top yet. Now, when we were in this region, I would say, okay, I'll give you a point there. But now that we're below the shoulder line, it's becoming almost a pure certainty. It's not a guarantee yet until it drops below that, but right now it is definitely leaning on the side of the short. All right. That's all I'm saying. Now, once you're better at adjusting to probabilities rather than emotions, that's when you can really start saying the difference between a confidence trade and a breakout trade. So, what you're talking about is a breakout trade. That's saying I can't take a trade until I'm down in this region, below this. But I got a short from all the way up here. So, even if I'm wrong, yeah, I'll lose a little bit on this trade right here if we don't hit our take profit. But even if I'm wrong, I'm still a winner. And then I can take the breakout trade long. So that's all I'm saying. We have a shit ton of macro bearish divergence. Well, actually, no, we have a metric shit ton of bullish divergence, which is, why are you shorting when we got bullish divergence? Because I have taught you guys over the past couple of weeks how these simple indicators that are commonly used because they're easy are being used to trick you. So when you see bullish divergences, does that always mean don't take the trade? No. It just means measure out the risk to reward. What is the highest potential of that trade? What is the target based off of the actual pattern? And then go from there. Otherwise, you're not doing yourself any favors, man. You're not. So I just want to leave you with that. Thank you, Mitch. I appreciate that, man. And that's the whole thing around this $100 account is I come from a perspective of a large account. So, there's you guys are at an incredible disadvantage. Not only are you guys coming into a market with extreme psychological disadvantage because when you start a small account, first, you want to make lots of money in the first place. That's just a human nature, okay? We want to make lots of money because we might have a family to support, we might have a retirement to build for, maybe we want to buy that new fancy car, fancy house. So there's a lot of pressure, so you want to do it as fast as possible, but that's not healthy. So that is not something you really deal with a large account because you can risk 1% of $1 million account and still make multiple thousands of dollars per trade. But you risk 1% of $100 account, you're not making any money, buddy. So that's why I'm starting this to show you guys that it's possible. And even though we're not blasting off to the moon just yet, we're at $1,200. We're at 12x the account. So I call that a success. After this trade, we'll be at around $3,000 to $4,000. Now, by the time that we get all the way down there, who knows? I haven't even done the math on that. And then on the retracement back up, oof. So obviously, I'm in no real rush. I'm, you know, what was the thing I say? Forgot the first part of it, but I always have this little saying that I say in sessions, something, 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 let price action do what it do. But I just forgot it today. But that's essentially it. Just understand the levels that you're working with. Let price action work itself out. And, think of it like a robot. Think of it like an if this, then that statement. If this resistance holds, then that is my target. And just based off of this double top alone, okay, so there is no question whatsoever that this double top is not in play. Okay, so we have boom, boom, boom. Now, we have dropped below the neckline, and the target is down here. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, you might be a little bit too risky on that because, officially, the length of the arm should be the target of the next one. And if this one didn't officially make a turnaround to right here, that'd still be 8,622. And I think we wicked down to there, actually. Yeah, we did. So you could say, well, we've hit our target. We're going to go blasting off to the upside. But I'm looking at the bigger picture. I find that newer traders, they tend to go all the way down to the 5-minute, 15-minute, zoom out. All right. I know it feels like you're going to make less money because you can't make as many moves per second, but man, the trades you do make have extreme profit, and the probability that you're going to win those trades are much more likely. Because when you're scalping, if you're bad at it, which I'm actually bad at it, you might get a 1-to-3 ratio maximum. Now, if you're extremely good at it and you can get exact dollar amount entries, exact dollar amount stop losses, you can get 13 risk reward ratios just on the 1 second chart. All right. But that's not what I'm teaching here. So like I said, guys, I appreciate you. I do have to get going here. I got a person waiting on me, but I love you. I'll see you guys later. We'll see how this price action works out. Like I said, just if anything that you take away from this live stream today, keep things simple. Look at where those major shifts in momentum really do happen, and don't fret over these small time frames. I mean, listen, I'm not coming for anybody in particular, but in my group especially, I can really pay attention to what the majority of traders really assume to be a massive move versus a small move, and it's really reversed. I mean, come on, guys. If you think this is a massive move, step up your game. All right. And a lot of the times we'll see these small breakouts on the way to a target, and then they'll see price action do something like it's doing right now. And they'll be like, should I exit my trade? Should we take profit? Should we do this? Should we do that? Should we do? No, you know what your target is. You know what your levels are. Let price action work itself out. There is no reason to get out of a good trade. Sammy, we're just closing up shop, but I appreciate you being here. Definitely go back and watch some of the footage. There's some interesting things in there, some little good tidbits. Probably nothing you never heard before, but you know, I did cover the macro. What do I think is going to happen over the next 500 days based on what's happening now? And you'll be surprised. All right, now, major thing that I want to say alongside that is that even though you might see it as doom and gloom, I promise you that if you use this time to make sure that you capitalize on it when it does hit that target, I promise you the payoff in the next couple of days / months to come will be worth your time. Because let's say, this $100 account, I started it about a month ago and we're up 1,200%. By the time this trade ends, if it does happen at the end of the month, we could be up to 3-4 grand again. Okay, which would be awesome. I would love that, but we're playing it safe, taking it level by level, taking profit what profit is due. Let price action do what it do. I found it. All right, just had to say a little bit of stuff. And if this account in 6 months is at $250,000 or above, boom, we used our time effectively. So now when we hit that bottom and we do go up 20x in price action, that's a lot of money, man. I don't know about you, but I know about me, and that's a lot of money. So I just want to leave you guys with a couple different things. I appreciate you very much. As always, if you guys feel like you learned something and you guys want to help out the channel, there's a Bybit affiliate code in the description. You guys sign up with that and deposit, I think, like 0.05 BTC. That will allow me to start collecting funds from you guys off of your market fees. So you're going to be paying fees to Bybit anyways, but I get a part of that. And I'm very, very open with what I'm accumulating off of that. So I don't want you guys to think that it's anything dodgy. In my actual Telegram, every so often as that grows, I'm going to be posting what is actually coming in. That way there's nothing shady around it. Like if I start making, $10,000 a month, I just want you guys to know that the majority of that is coming back to you guys. So that's the purpose of the Bybit affiliate link, is to fund giveaways on the channel. Obviously, if we're making that type of money, I might take just 10, 20% here. Just want to be open and honest with that. But this is for you guys. So if you guys are already on Bybit and not giving anybody your funding, your market fees, if you guys like me, little chubby cheap white kid, then awesome. I appreciate that. So thank you guys. Let's say goodbye here. Bubble Boy, what's up, man? See you later, man. Crypto Addict, thank you, man. Appreciate that. I love you too. Let's see. Daily D, what was the announcement? The announcements was the macro. You might have seen people talk about it, you might not. I just want to kind of show you how I put 2 and 2 together using the indicator and the timeline it gives me versus the pattern that's actually happening on Bitcoin and what could actually happen as a possibility. Now, is that a probability right now? No. But as certain things happen, it becomes more and more likely. It's an if this, then that statement. If this support breaks, then this resistance is likely to be tested. That's all. Korean, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Troy, no problem, man. I appreciate you. Gabriel, thank you, man. Thanks for showing up. Obsidian, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Do miss the fans, though. I know. I miss them too. But like I said, and that's the main reasons why you guys don't see me using Kite Crossing, whales buy sell, divergence indicators, market cipher B. It's not because I have anything against those indicators. It's because the sole purpose of this channel in particular is to one, use my age as a platform to show you that no matter what your age is, it all is based around your education, as well as that to show you that you don't need to fork out crazy amounts of cash. Now, am I saying that stuff like Market Cipher is a bad idea? No. I'm just saying that there is nothing that is ever going to make you a better trader than becoming a better trader. When you take a good trader and you give them an excellent tool like Market Cipher, that makes it extremely, it improves their quality of life. Does it improve the profits that they make? Maybe, maybe not. But does it improve the streamlining of coming to decisions? Absolutely. So that's what those indicators are used for. But if you're just starting out and you have, let's say, $3,000 in your portfolio, don't put money into these indicators until you prove to yourself that you're going to be a profitable trader long term. That's when you can start making investments in different things that are going to improve your streamlining of making trades, like getting a better monitor so you can have more screen real estate, getting better indicators, stuff like that. That's when those come into play. Modders, thank you, mate. Thank you very much, man. I'm liking your simpler trading style. It makes it much more sense to me. That's the thing I want. When I come on live stream, I want you guys to get used to the way I'm trading, make it simple and easy, so that's easy to learn. As well as that, I just want to make sure that when you come to live streams, I don't have to sit there and explain each individual thing. You guys are kind of on par with me. That's my main goal because I want this to be an open discussion platform where people have different opinions. I don't want to sit here on my high horse and tell you guys, what you should be doing. I want to say my opinion, and then in the chat, I want you guys to think, you know, what is my opinion, and then say it back, and in that way we can have an open discussion. That way we're learning, not just following. Try to chase for the people. Uh, I trade for myself, but that's so. My motto is that if you have a big plate, okay, so like if you're bringing in lots of money, or you have a how do I phrase this? Have your particular skill that, if done correctly and taught in the correct way, can be easy to learn. Why don't you make your plate a little bit smaller so that people got other people can get plates as well? That's all I'm saying. So even because this is nothing for me, I know I do complain sometimes about having to do 1,000 different sessions a day and come do a live stream after a long day. But at the end of the day, I have a really easy life. I trade for a living. All right, so this is kind of just my hobby. So if I can bring you guys along with me, that's what I want to do. Me and Crypto Revolutions, we had about a 30-minute discussion on kind of how I came to be, what was my story, um, what's my goal, why did I make the channel, all that kind of stuff. And I really feel like he gave me a lot of confidence that I'm on the correct path. And he just told me that this is a really dodgy place. There's a lot of shady stuff going on, and the people that are really in it for others are the ones that got to stick together. So, and I really do appreciate the fact that he reached out to me. Typically, it would always be the other way around. The smaller channel reaches out to the big channel, hoping that they answer back. But he came to me, and that says so much, and it really just gave me a whole lot of confidence. Not arrogance, but confidence. And it really did make a major shift in how, you know, I really want to. This is a long term thing. In the past when I've started, Twitch channels doing competitive gaming live streams and stuff like that, I would do it for a while. I would get a good following, but then eventually I would just leave because I got bored. And, for a while, I did get bored with trading too. Obviously, I still did it because it's highly profitable. But, you know, when I started live streaming and people started seeing success because of the things that I was talking about, that reignited my flame. And then now, every single time I teach somebody and I see them go from, oh, I've been wrecking my account for the past couple of months. This is my last ditch effort. And then I see that gradual shift in their mindset as well as their portfolio. That to me brings me more happiness than money ever could, because the way I see it is we're all on this endless ride towards death. And obviously, if you can cushion that ride, it might be a little bit more comfortable. Now, is it going to make you happier? No, but it does relieve a lot of stress off your plate. So that's the way I look at it. So with that being said, I don't want to go, into a gigantic, little thing here, but I appreciate you guys very much. I always say that. I want you guys to know that's coming from the heart. I want to be as extremely open as I possibly can be when it comes to the revenue generated by the Bybit affiliate link, as well as that. I show you my $100 account. Now, do I ever show my true accounts? No, that is off limits. So that's another reason why I wanted to start a separate account, not only for the sole purpose of showing you guys that, you can do this, but also that way I can show you what I'm doing. That way, even though a lot of people that come in live stream be like, oh, he's only got $1,000 in his portfolio. Why has he got 70 viewers? Because it's what about the education behind it. And hopefully, over the next couple of months, as the account grows, people stop doing all that crazy stuff. This kid, he doesn't know what he's doing. I know it seems like I'm kind of off today, but I'm hitting that slump. All right. I'm hitting that slump where, I'm waking up at 7 o'clock every single morning, going on the walk/run with Fish and my friends. And then some days I have more sessions than others. And today was just kind of like it wasn't a particularly exciting day. It was a good day though. So I hope that you guys don't really think that I'm being extra down today. I promise you things are not going back to how they used to be. We're just going through it. Going through it. All right, guys. With that being said, I know there's a lot of people that said goodbye. I just want to do one massive goodbye before I go. Now, I do want to take advantage of this. While I only have so many viewers, that way I can individually get to all your individual questions. I can say goodbye to you by name, because there might become a day where, maybe I have 500, 1,000 viewers. And although I would love to sit there and answer every single question, that's going to be extremely difficult. So I just want to make sure that while you guys are here and supporting me while I'm small, I can do this. I can sit here, I can look at each individual message and just really go through it and explain it. So appreciate your time. Ron Hill, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you. And yeah, that's about it. Let's go ahead and select a song before I get off. Sports Billy, sorry, man, heading out for the night. But as always, you can go ahead and check out the playback. Let's see, what song do I feel like is? I feel like we already played that. So one thing that you guys probably noticed about me is that I find people that I like. Okay, now when I look for songs, obviously I want it to sound good, but the message involved has to be, it has to be tenacity. It has to be objective. It has to be goal. There can't be anything where it's like, shucking and jiving. All right. I know that's kind of a term that some people might find offensive, but I grew up with it. And that just means basically just chilling. All right. I'm not into that type of music. For me, when I listen to music, it always has to put me in a winner's mindset. That's what I'm looking for. Happy Memorial Day, James. Appreciate it, man. Let's see. This is let's see. What do I want to play? I'll play the song that at the end of this challenge, I'm going to play for everybody that doubted me. Okay. So this is going to be the song. You guys have heard it before. Obviously, if you guys don't want to stick around for the music, that's okay. If you guys don't like it, you guys don't like it. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you on Wednesday. That is not Streamlabs. Okay. Streamlabs. Awesome. All right. Peace out, guys. Love ya. Stream ending.
Okay, now check this shit. I'm a force to be reckoned with. 10 years from now, they gon' be asking how they slept on this. Fuck my manners, man, somebody getting swept on this. I'm seeing red, man, I should've gotten meth on this. Marching with the force of 1,000 suns. Build your walls, watch me break them all down to crumbs. I can fit the crown you wear right around my thumb. You got a small mind, fuck your throne, I bow to none. So many skeletons, my closet is a mess. Got a sick amount of pressure and an awful lot of stress. But but I've been working so long I forgot about the mess. Guess I'd rather be exhausted than depressed. Pick your poison, make them hate so much that it destroys them. And when they cannot beat you, listen to them, switch their voices. I heard them talking, but it's just a mix of different noises. Now they sending offers, I just nix and void them, then avoid them like I don't need them, never did. Always on the move, never settle in. Never settle down, I don't need no sedative. Lord knows I'm working, I can't let the devil win. I don't need him, never did. Always on the move, never settle in. Never settle down, I don't need no sedative. Lord knows I'm working, I can't let the devil win. I don't need to diss my peers, even though it's crystal clear. They wish I disappeared, dap me up, but pissed I'm here. If I'm not on your list of fears, just give me a fiscal year. I am gonna lock it down, Ryan's got this shit secure. It's obscure how they talk about you when you're not around. Like I can't hear them simply just cause they ain't talking loud. I was never walking like them, so they'd say I'm not allowed. They must need something though, cause they ain't saying nada now. Tell them get away from me, I don't want your laziness. Don't know much about it, but I heard that it's contagious shit. I cannot contain this gift, I'm doper than the cane you sniff. Honestly, you crazy if you think that you can tame this kid. My teamwork is hard as me, I never have to babysit. Try to knock my hustle, but your hustle's off this baby shit. I already got a queen, I don't want your lady bits. I don't pay no one to build it, I go out and lay the bricks. I don't need them, never did. Always on the move, never settle in. Never settle down, I don't need no sedative. Lord knows I'm working, I can't let the devil win. I don't need him, never did. Always on the move, never settle in. Never settle down, I don't need no sedative. Lord knows I'm working, I can't let the devil win.